Hey everyone, it's Dawn Kingren here, and today is my review of the Ultimate Reset Day 8. I have so much to talk about, so I'll get right to it. But first off, I know you're dying to know what detox tasted like. So detox is taken 3 times a day, 30 minutes before each meal this week, along with the alkalize, which is taken once per day for the whole entire program. I am happy to announce that it wasn't that bad. I was really kind of scared this morning before I went to work and had to take it, but had a lemon there in case I needed to squirt some of that after, but actually it went down smooth, and if you use a shaker cup and cold water, not a big deal. The only thing is the aftertaste is kind of ishy, but you know, it's nothing that I can't handle, so I'm happy about that. Very happy about that. So nothing to worry about, at least for me. So just to let you know about that. Meals. Last night was steamed veggies with brown rice and baked temp. So I kind of made a stir fry out of it, just put everything together, and that was good. Breakfast was a big bowl of fruit, which is awesome. I love fruit, so and that's going to be kind of a main thing from here on out. Except maybe the next couple of days are going to be different, but that's going to be one of the main breakfasts for the rest of the program. And then lunch was just a microgreen salad with nuts. So not a whole lot, but feeling great and definitely having energy. I just feel, I guess the best way I could describe it, I just feel like I have more clarity. I know it's kind of weird. I don't know how to, what that means exactly, but I just feel like I'm more focused, and I can, I don't feel like I'm going 100 miles a minute. I just kind of going through the motions and blah, blah, blah. But I did have kind of a rough day at work today. So it was one of those days I'm like, was really looking forward to coming home and working out, taking my stress out on my weights or some turbo, but I guess I'll be taking it out my stress out in the kitchen. So that kind of stinks. I really, when you have one of those bad days or it's hectic and kind of crazy and stressful, it's hard because that is my stress reliever, is my workouts. But I did go for a 45-minute walk. Over lunch, forgot my phone, so I had no music or calls to listen to, so I was totally bombed, and it was just an off day because I didn't have my phone and I didn't have my music going. It was just like kind of dead silence, which I'm not used to and I do not like. So I did do that, and I actually just did a lot of thinking, which was good. With starting this program and where I've been and what I've been through, I don't know, a lot of you don't know that I just started a new job recently. So I've been there almost 2 months. And coming from a place where I've been almost 11 years, a technology company where I know all the ins and outs, it wasn't that stressful. I knew what I was doing. Coming to the healthcare industry, it's just overwhelming. That is bottom line how I feel. And I told my manager, I'm just like, I feel like I'm stupid. I don't know any of this stuff. And that's hard for me. So I have that constant worry, and as soon as I feel like I'm starting to understand something else is thrown my way, and it's just like, oh my God. I called my husband this morning like in tears because it's just a lot. It's way different. It's definitely challenging. It's way overwhelming, but in the end, it is going to make me a stronger person. It's not an easy thing, but it will push me and keep me going and challenge me and keep me driven. So that's the cool thing about it. It's going to be a rough few months for sure, but, bring it on. I just have to get over that, and I realize, and he's just like, it's only a job, Dawn, but, I'm one of those, I just want to do the best job I can. I just want to know what I'm doing, and I just want to understand it all, so I don't have to keep asking all the same questions or, bothering people. And that's hard for me, because my old job is all I did ever know. So they say, and the reason I kind of brought that up was they say starting this reset, you should do it, when you're not in a stressful environment, or, when you don't have something big coming up or that you're worried about. And I thought about that a lot before I started, because I'm like, this is probably not a good time in my life to start, with a new job. I'm like, that completely kind of turns your world upside down, and you're trying to understand and get a handle of everything. So I just knew that it was right for me, because being where I'm, what I've been through and what I've overcame, being in those stressful environments, especially, way beyond stress, feeling overwhelmed, that's when my ed comes out. And, it's having an eating disorder you will never, ever get over. It is something you deal with on a daily basis, or, it just gets easier over time. Like everything else, it just gets easier over time, and Ed quiets down, and he doesn't come out and play all the time like he used to. But during these types of times in my life is when he likes to rear his ugly head a lot. So having this reset, he hasn't even come out and played. So I am very thankful for that, because I think if I wasn't on this, I would be prone to eating bad foods, or way over drinking, or way overeating, or, just bringing in the soda. I mean, I'm not a soda person, but I would be definitely having, I like my glass of wine, or I like a cocktail, sitting on the deck. But I'd probably just want to overdo that, because that feeling of, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed, I just need to get that feeling out. I don't want to deal with it. But this, doing this brings everything to the front, and I can deal with it. And I just, thinking about that when I was walking today, it's just like, I am so proud of myself. I am so proud of myself that I'm doing this and I'm that strong, and, he hasn't been around. And as I came out and, went to a therapist and nutritionist, and, started to deal with my eating disorder, there's a lot of things that have been an outcome of that. So one thing for me, just in my mind, like, carbs are bad. Carbs are just terrible. If I eat a piece of bread, or if I eat pasta, I'm going to gain 100 pounds. I'm going to look like a big fat balloon. And that's just what my mind tells me. That's just what Ed is telling me if that is in front of me, or, so I just stay away. I know fruits and veggies have it, but like I said yesterday, I kind of go on the overabundance of those. So it's just trying to kind of find that balance. And as I was walking too, I was thinking about, when I started this and I got on the scale, I haven't gotten the scale in a while. I was at the heaviest I've been since I had Noah, who is almost 7. And before that, even before I was pregnant, been 10 plus years when I lost like my first 50 pounds. So to get on the scale and see that number, it just made my heart sink. It just made me feel sick. I'm like, I can't believe that I allowed myself to get that, to gain that much weight. It wasn't, that much, but still, you notice. I mean, 5 pounds makes a difference. 10 pounds makes a bigger difference. So you know your body, you know what you want it to look like, and how it was when you did like it, or where you felt comfortable with your weight, where you felt comfortable and confident, because that is the biggest thing. As long as you're confident, I don't care what you weigh. That is totally, like, you go girl, because that's one thing that women lack, or a lot of women lack. I mean, I lack. If I don't feel like, I just don't feel good in this outfit, it gives me no confidence. And that shows to everybody. And just to be able to let that confidence shine through is huge. And I commend all those women that do have it, because it's an amazing quality. So with that, doing the ultimate reset, that first week I talked about toast, and, I'm eating rice and millet. I would never eat that stuff before, or I would eat or find versions of it, like shirataki noodles, or wraps that were very low in carbs and high in fiber. I would never eat like toast, or I couldn't even imagine eating pancakes or, French toast or rice. I did not eat a lot of. I ate sometimes, very, very not often. So I do love my sweet potatoes. I have really gotten into those, but like baked potatoes, like they scare me. I have the sign that says stay away. So having that and being able to have toast, it's kind of like reintroducing those foods to me, and it's like, God, it's okay to eat these. So it's like kind of changing that mindset that I've had for so long. And I'm just, I think that's huge. That is a huge accomplishment for me, a huge challenge that am getting to overcome, which, that in itself would make this reset a total, like, hurrah, like, hooray, so just on that note, and then, one of the other things you have your trigger foods, so that's maybe one of my, like, pizza, I try not to eat, but the other, like, sweets. So if you have sweets around, I've just come up with the willpower, and it doesn't even faze me anymore. If there's treats, it's like no big deal. I don't need one, because back then, or when I was first even the first couple of years, I mean, it's hard and it takes time, just like anything. I'm going to keep saying that. It just takes time. But if there are sweets around, or you have your potlucks and your get-togethers, and there's always some type of sweet, cookies, chocolate, you name it, I'm just better to stay away, because I know with me, if I have one, Ed comes out to play, and he's like, oh, just have another, just have one more, just have, and I'll go for another, and then it's done. Ed's got complete control, and I'm done for. And then it's like I feel crappy, and I'm back to rock bottom. So it's not worth it, and I've realized that, and now it's just, of course I have cookies and stuff in my house for my husband and my son, because I can't deprive them of that. This is my issue, and it's something that I've dealt with, and I become strong over. But every once in a while, it's okay. My husband's not a big dessert fan, so that's really cool. Like if we go out to eat, or I don't have to worry about that, because we usually don't ever get dessert. But it's nice that I know that once in a while it's okay. If it's a special occasion, yeah, I want to have dessert, or it's very rare, but it's okay. But I just am saying, for one thing that works for me is just to stay away, because then I don't have that, and I don't lose my willpower and my strength, because when that happens, it takes, I feel guilty and I feel crappy, and I just get down on myself for a couple days, and it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. And that's where I'm like, you just got to pick yourself up and move on, and that is hard for me. And I tell all my clients and people that I know, that's what you got to do, but I know it's hard. I know, because I deal with it. And I am the first one to beat myself up. So I just kind of wanted to give you a little insight on there, a little bit more about my story. But if you want to be friends with me, definitely find me on Facebook. The link is below. And if you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear from you. And I just can't say enough. I think this reset is really changing my life and teaching me a lot about portions and different foods and trying different things, and everything in moderation. And for me, like I said before, it's huge for me right now at this point in my life, and I'm excited to see what the next couple of weeks brings. So definitely, if you'd like to be one of my challenges, be sure to reach out. I would love to have you part of the group and give you any insight that you need. But thank you for listening, and if you struggle with eating disorders, I would love to hear from you. It is one of my passions to help people, because it truly is. It's amazing how many women, even men, have these, and I kind of find people every day that are going through this that I would never expect, and it's so sad. It's just so sad that we let that thing in our mind and food control our lives, because I did for many years, and those years I will never get back, and all I can do is learn and grow.